Well, hello everyone, and welcome to HOGARTH'S Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. Apologies for being slightly late with today's show, but we needed to have a little bit of backroom chat. Yes, we were discussing a few things, and there's an awful lot going on. So I'm going to introduce, of course, my guest, and then I'm going to make a little announcement. Then I'm going to give a little read for a little update of where things are progressing. As we know, this is a rapidly evolving situation in the US and around the world. So, of course, over here, actually, I got it right the first time. Over here, we have Lady G, diagonal. Oh, no, it's like this way. There we are. This way. We have Sheila's Celtic Tarot. And, of course, down under, we have Lena joining us from the future. It is Sunday where she is right now. So first announcement, just to get things underway, and this is what we were talking about backstage, and it was just in reference to some rather quite harsh critique, shall we say, that part of the panel received. And I just want to say, of course, comments and stuff are welcome, but I also want to impress, because some Sheila received quite some strong critique, is that I welcome comments, but they do need to be respectful. Do be mindful of your comments and understand they are public. Of course, this is a public forum. And also as well, we just want to say is, look, we do not all read in the same style. It's the contrast, of course, which I think is actually one of the great strengths of this show. Everyone has their own style, everyone has their own viewpoints and the way that they arrive at things. And of course, the vast majority of you obviously really do appreciate that, and we appreciate you joining in. So I just want to say, look, just be mindful, just be mindful, because when you're putting yourselves out there, it's quite a vulnerable position to be in, isn't it, folks? But we've all had stick. We've all had stick. This all comes as part of it. But we just wanted to say that, and that we support you, Sheila, and your work and your perspectives and your reading. So just wanted to put that big hug around you. Right.
Thanks. And I feel the same with you as well. Nobody's allowed to come on my page and say something bad about any of the readers.
Exactly, because you don't want 4 psychics coming after you and haunting your ass.
No, not a pretty sight.
You really don't.
Oh, indeed, indeed. So, ladies, before we start the show, we have a lot of questions that have come in. We're going to try and obviously cover as many as we can. We'll try and get some Shakespeare in as well. I didn't have time on my show because so much is happening. So, as we know, this is a rapidly unfolding situation. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a notification of where we seem to be up to thus far. So indulge me for a few minutes. So must mentions I've put here. I want to give a shout out to someone called Vicky Haygood. Now she wants to do a group ascension energy lifting prayer meditation on March 29th, which of course, as you know, I'm referring to as the Great Awakening. And believe it or not, ladies, March 29th happens to be a Saturday. So the Great Awakening is happening on HoGaLeSh. You can't
live.
Even make
the Great Awakening live.
Indeed. So I would like more details of that will follow, guys, but we're going to try and do something collectively to also help lift the energy, because of course we want to bring positivity. So there's that. I also want to reiterate something that we discussed here and sort of pioneered here as a concept, which is no buy Mondays. Yeah, no buy Mondays. What is that all about? This is when we kind of basically flick the bird to oligarchy, and on a Monday, be whatever. We will not tell you what to do, but the idea is you don't purchase stuff from the oligarchs on a Monday. Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This stuff matters, especially as Elon's Tesla sales are starting to plummet. Yeah, boy. Yeah, starting to plummet. Give you another quick update. There is a lawsuit has been filed against Donald Trump by Gwyn Wilcox. Gwyn Wilcox used to work for the NLRB. and she was a board member illegally fired by Trump and has filed, I think, a class action lawsuit or a lawsuit about her removal. She's being represented by Gupta Wessler, and they're saying this could be quite a bombshell test case about the president's power over independent agencies. Yeah. Oh, can you still hear me? Oh, there was a little bit of a freeze. You know what it's like when we talk about Dr. Orange? Yeah, gets his minions out. Got my black obsidian. George Conway, of course, has been talking about psychopathy and malignant narcissists. Something else as well. There was an Economist poll, YouGov poll, taken just after the November election that showed 47% of Republicans wanted Elon to have a lot of influence. 29% wanted a little. 12% wanted none at all. Now it's changed. Now the same poll done recently, I think today or yesterday, only 26% want him to have a lot of influence. 43% say they want Musk to have a little influence, and 17% say none at all. So the pressure is working, folks. It's working. Even the Republicans are like, So, and I saw that was reported on something which is called Rebel HQ YouTube channel. I think they're part of Young Turks. I don't know the political information affiliation.
They're consistently
good. Oh, good. And the presenter was David Shawster. I'll try and put that in the links. And basically, Elon is kind of falling a bit from grace, but allegedly, according to the strapline on CNN, 40,000 workers have apparently accepted the buyout offers. So, yeah. So that was long. Sorry?
I said, that's not good. There's another big one that Letitia James has filed against the Musk, that they cannot download that information, and she has put a stop on that, and they have to delete anything they have downloaded.
Yeah, that came out at 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, there was a judgment that came out at 3 o'clock in the morning that they're not allowed to go in and, like Lady G was saying, and go and look at the information, and that they have to destroy anything that they did find.
Yeah. But will they?
Probably not. They probably already got what they wanted. That's the bad part, is they probably already got what they wanted.
And we've actually got a question on that. So we've been able to anticipate that question. And the first thank you of the evening. This is extraordinary. Kathleen O'Malley, $100. Oh my goodness. I want to thank the host, panel, and community for building a loving, supportive community in homage to my mom. Rest in peace. Oh, bless you. Bless you, darling. Thank you, Kathleen. Mwah. Big love. And may your mother, I'm sure she's proud of you. And very kind of you to generate in that way, donate in that way. Thank you. Shall we start, ladies? So much to get through. Yeah. All right. So question number 1. This is about Gaza, and it's coming from 2 people. So Denise Ferguson and Nick Minks have asked a similar question, so I'll read out both. So it's to do with Palestine and Gaza. So going first, I'll go here first with Denise. So she's saying, according to CNN, Netanyahu has ordered his military to prepare plans for large numbers of Palestinians to leave Gaza. He also states countries including Spain, Norway, and Ireland are legally obligated by international law to accept any Gazan who enters their country. What is the future for Palestinians in Gaza, and will the US, I think she says, implement it? And then Nick Mick says, will the Arab states and Saudi in particular do anything to prevent Gaza becoming Duck L'Orange's Riviera? Interested as a certain son-in-law got the $2 billion to set up property portfolio. So was Saudi already aware of plans for Gaza? So actually those 2 questions, now I read them back, are quite different. So let's actually, but I think it's important to discuss it. So let's do the first bit. What is the future of the Palestinians? Yeah, let's look at that. And let's see the other one with the Riviera stuff. So what is the future of the Palestinians?
Well, it could be one question, really, in the sense of what's happening with Palestinians and the land.
Indeed, yeah, indeed. So yeah, exactly. That can be blended in, and will the Saudi? I mean, it would be extremely controversial if the Saudis were to provide funding for such a thing. What's the future of the Palestinians? I'm sorry for that long intro, guys, but we had to cover that ground.
Yes.
For the Palestinians. Who's ready to go first?
I have to think about mine for a minute.
Ooh,
anyone else?
Go ahead and go.
Go for it, Lady G.
So underneath of it, it's about contracts for manipulation, of course. They're so bad. So the reading is about figuring out the next move and what to be cut. Of course, it's about making the money and his crazy scenario of wanting to get rid of all the Palestinians and build his big resort area there. And we have, of course, Netanyahu and Trumpenstein governments coming together. And it's about what is being offered up, and they're wanting to control it all. But justice is the key point. So at this point, it doesn't look like, it's not telling us if there's going to be justice or not, but these two are definitely on the rampage of trying to get rid of all the Palestinians and create a big resort area.
Wow. Wow. My goodness. Sheila, are you maybe ready to go next?
I'm ready, but I don't want to.
Have faith. Have faith. Speak forth.
Well, there is one card that gives me a little hope. Okay, so what we have is the King of Cups is always that diplomacy, right? That diplomacy on that. But the two cards that I got right next to the diplomacy is literally like the Five of Pentacles, and in my haunted deck, the Ten of Pentacles is out in the cold. So the diplomacy, they're not doing very well with diplomacy. I don't know which side, I don't know what's going on, but they're not. Their diplomacy really sucks, just like Lady G was saying. Really now they do, and now I do have. I mean, everybody is under tension. Everybody is under stress. Nobody's feeling like anybody can trust anybody. Yeah, nobody can trust anybody. However, at some point in time, they're gathering forces to defend, and probably I got the happy family. So this is kind of my hopeful card that at the end of all of this diplomacy and all of that there is a happy ending. However, I'm worried that it's going to be a happy ending for Israel, not the Gaza. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What my cards have all said, but there's definitely some sort of big. All right, onward.
Okay, will I go?
Yes. What do you have?
Okay. Now, started here with this Page of Wands speaking. I think this is what is being spoken about in the Middle East itself. But this is a page. In other words, they're sending junior people in for these conversations because they don't actually want it resolved. So that's my impression of the page. Meanwhile, Palestinians have no choice but to keep trudging through. This is, I think, Netanyahu, Trump, and all the other big boys trying to manipulate the narrative away from the obvious nature of what is happening. There will be resistance on something. This is, to me, more a Hamas sort of energy here, that is always the flea on the elephant. You know, it really doesn't have that sort of power. The Gazans themselves, the same card as Sheila. Where are we going to live and put down roots? Where can we grow a garden? It's unresolved as we speak, but it will bring the whole world into it, whether the world wants to or not.
Wow, gosh, it's so interesting, isn't it? All these things coming in. So before I read, as usual, I want to say another quick thank you. Thank you, Tobiah, so much for your donation. Grace Gilbert says, I love these collabs. This is a nice energy and you complement each other's unique styles. Thank you. Here, Sheila, a nice compliment here for you. Said, Spiritual Hack says, Sheila, your remote view was so profound this week. I shared it with a grandmother who we appreciate it. So look, love there as well. Let's just say here, Jazzy Sophie saying, you all know or have you heard that Jared K has been buying real estate in Gaza? Oh my gosh, the grubby mitts of it all. And thank you, Cindy, for your donation. Okay, I'll get on with my read. Okay. Sorry?
I was going to say, just a small note. Jared Kushner's father is best friends with Netanyahu, whatever. They're
right. Surprise. So we'll do a little read, on Netanyahu. All right, what do I have here? Question: future of the Palestinian people. This is tricky stuff. You know, when we're doing a reading, you never want to see the moon. When you're reading on someone's future, you never want to see the moon. Now, of course, nothing is clear by moonlight. We know that this means machinations. There are things happening under the surface, particularly as we see this lobster here coming out of the dark, which for me always represents part of the id of the subconscious. So it means there's deep, dark, primordial things going on in terms of the future of Gaza. Maybe things that are being planned that are not yet clear and obvious, but we're already getting inkling of. Of course, here you have the domesticated dog and the wolf, both howling at the moon. So again, this is talking about the tug of war between the domesticated feelings and the wild, unbridled feelings and the predatory instincts of the wolf. And the challenge here, of course, is to walk between the pillars of truth. So it's tricky. It's tricky for the Palestinians. All right. If we see here in the obstacle position, we have the Queen of Swords. Now, really, we can sort of kind of consider this reversed. When the card is reversed, this can actually talk about a spitefulness, overly sharpness, overly critical, and basically quite harsh. So it's showing here that there's, in a way, a kind of a spitefulness, a sharpness that is being foisted upon the Palestinians, which of course we've seen already. But these are machinations. However, if we look here, we do have the Temperance card. So there may be an element of compromise here. What I suspect will happen is this. Obviously, not all Palestinians will want to leave, but some, because they've just been so traumatized, may accept some kind of offer, some attempt at balance. Or it's going to be put forward as, you leave, but don't worry, we're going to build everything for you, and then you can come back. And then they find that they've never given the keys, because it's all just a gated community facing the beach. We'd have to see. The world here, of course, is involved, but this is also talking about the Palestinians. And of course, the world card talks about the ending of great cycles, endings and beginnings. So this does worry me a little bit about the Palestinian people. Is it the case that many decisions have been made for them already with undercover people involved that we may not even suspect are part of it? But then look, they get the Death card here. Now, of course, the Death card talks about a transformation or change that cannot be avoided. So there is an element here where I feel like maybe the Palestinians' fate has been decided for them, but it also depends how the world responds to their situations. So that's my take. Anything on that, or shall we do a quick read on Netanyahu?
Somebody,
I was thinking.
Excuse me. Somebody was saying that Netanyahu is Jared's godfather.
Yes.
I don't know, is he?
Wow.
It wouldn't surprise me. But I thought maybe later we should do the bard on Netanyahu.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's do it. Let's do the bard.
Instead of a read. Just move on.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. I meant we should be doing the. I could barely get my words out. Yes, let's do the bard on Netanyahu. You know what, Sheila? I think it's your turn this time.
Yeah.
Is that the case? I think so.
All right.
So this will be the bard's take on Netanyahu. Yeah. So you know the procedure. Just tell me where to stop, and we'll get the bard's take.
Now.
All right. Oh, actually, it's actually fallen exactly on the page where it says character and villainy. Oh, let's see. Do you know what? This one's come out before, but I can't remember for who. Oh my God. All right. But listen to this. Yeah. So this is from All's Well That Ends Well. Yeah. Thou art a most notable coward, an infinite and endless liar, an hourly promise breaker, the owner of not one good quality. Yeah. And then on the next page, it says, away, you cut purse rascal, you filthy bung, away. And that's from Henry Part 2.
Goodness me.
Very interesting, isn't it?
Because prior to October 7th and everything, he was on his knees. He was just clinging on by a toenail.
Yeah.
And that all just put him back.
Indeed. Very interesting, isn't it? And it says that the cut purse comment as well, which can talk about theft, of course.
Stealing money.
Yeah.
Hogarh, you should know there's been a 7.6 earthquake in the Caribbean.
Oh my goodness! Wow,
that's quite big.
I was asked about earthquakes in Santorini. Actually, there's been earthquakes in Santorini, and there's been stuff off the coast of Oregon as well. So my goodness, 7. What was it? 7.3.
7.6.
Oh my God, that could mean severe loss of life. So we don't know which countries it involved, but it's been in the Caribbean. So obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to the people that are affected by that. That is huge. I hope it's not Haiti again as well. Remember, Haiti's had a lot of stuff. So if someone could let us know where that earthquake has happened. So sorry to hear about that. Right, let's go on to question number 2. And this has come in from Sinsa. And she said, felon, yeah, that's good, isn't it? Talking about Elon, but felon broke into the energy department recently. It's just beyond belief, isn't it? Broke into the energy department recently. What do they want? Access to nuclear info? Thanks, lovely people. So what does Elon want by breaking in with his hackers into the Department of Energy, which deals with nuclear? My God, can't make this stuff up.
Elon in the Department of Energy.
Well, this is going to be fun. I just literally shuffled my cards where they're now backwards and inwards and all that. So, all right, that's fun.
Wow. And while everyone's shuffling, before I forget, I went to a tarot exhibition today. Believe it or not, a tarot exhibition, which was held at the Warburg Institute, and it showed the whole history of tarot, old cards, new cards. And there was even a modern tarot reader that had even put Duck L'Orange on a card. Can you believe it? You can see it on my Instagram, and I'll share on the community page later, the exhibition. Just wanted to tell you that. All right. So what Department of Energy, what's Elon up to there? Ooh.
Well, I can jump in now. I think this was a very quick spread. All right. It starts with the world. And Elon's fantasy is world, the whole world. So he's doing what he's doing in the US, but that's not where it's going to stop. And by controlling the US Department of Energy, you literally control power. If you think of it in those things, you are controlling people's power. And AI and crypto use a phenomenal amount of energy. Okay, which is where this card, this Ace of Pentacles, comes in. If they can control the energy, they can control what they're already doing, plus AI and crypto. People will be sacrificed. That would be you, me, and our next door neighbours, without a second thought. Leaving people impoverished in terms of energy, because if he can do this, and he's doing it as we're watching, there's no government department he won't touch. But energy is a big one, because they can turn the lights on and off. They can say who will have access to the internet or not. It is a complete power grab of a scale we have not envisaged. And at the end of it, this is, I think, who is walking away here. And I think it's, hopefully, this is people walking away from Elon instead of going, oh, this guy's a genius. He's so smart. You know, he'll clean up all this waste. I think this is people, the public, walking away. But my only bit of optimism is both these cards are people walking away because they choose to, as opposed to just being wiped out. So it might be independent, sustainable energy. You know, if you can get solar panels or something to do it.
Wow.
But he's not stopping with this world card.
Yeah. World domination, quite literally. Sheila, what cards do you have?
Well, my cards confirm that this guy is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
He is crazy. He's not with us on the normal plane anymore. I just wanted to mention that. I got the 10 of Pentacles right off the bat, which was the wealth and the happiness, right? Okay. It doesn't take a psychic to understand that Elon Musk is after more money. It doesn't, you know, we all figured that one out. What I didn't realize is that he is trying to he's fighting a battle either within himself, his head, something along that line. There is something he's fighting. He's trying to keep at bay. And I'm beginning to think that it is his crazy.
Wow.
And his crazy. With that said, I got the Ace of Wands inverted. Somehow, some way, delay is there, weighed down. He wants to bog things up. He wants to weigh them down. He doesn't want somebody to have success because he wants the success. He's trying to literally jam up this world.
Yeah.
And the reversed Eight of Wands is jamming up, and he is wanting, if that isn't a Elon Musk and Donald Trump card, I don't know what is, right?
Yeah.
Of the wealth. However, somehow, some way, he gets turned away. He has to do a quiet retreat. And I asked for the future. I asked these two cards. I went for the future because somehow, some way, he gets a quiet retreat. The power of 3 gets a hold of him, but he's going to have to do a quiet retreat at some point. He's not going to get as far as he wants because of his crazy.
Yeah, and he is.
And he's bonkers. I don't know how to explain it, but my card just spelled it out like clearly. This guy is off his rocker.
Yeah.
Wow. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, the reading's about the drama that he is trying to put in, anchoring in the drama when it comes to people's energy, okay, people's control of their energy. And so the energy coming into it, he's exploring the knowledge. He wants all the information in there so that he can put in restrictions. Okay. So, and of course, right now he is the snake, having conversations of judgments, what he thinks needs to be done, etc. The challenge is to survive whatever type of information, writings, and drama that he's got going, that he wants to control the truth of it. Okay. So according to his truth, not genuine truth. And the outcome is an invisible competition that he is in when it comes to the world and the long time journey of the world. Underneath of it all is new action. And so he could create a prophecy. That's my favorite picture. I love that one. At the heart of it. I love that reader. Just her face is like,
yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Gosh, fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. So I just want to say a quick few, some quick thank yous. Much appreciated, everyone. And please, of course, remember to like and subscribe and share to support our work here on this channel. You are much appreciated. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to say thank you to Carmela. And at the moment, we've got 2,500 of you with us right now. Much appreciated. So thank you, Carmela, for your donation. Thank you, Lisa, thank you so much. And Harriet, thank you so much. Here, someone's Flora K saying the world should go against these oligarchs to not work on these hotels they want to build. Just say no. Indeed. Thank you, Rose Blue, so much for your donation. And Sherry says, Sheila, smile, we love you. Get that beautiful smile going. All right, Elon, his intentions with the, I mean, can you believe, I have to have a little, I have to have a Lena digression here. Can you believe that we are reading on this, guys? Can you believe we are seeing this effective coup where Elon has gone absolutely rampage, obviously at the behest of Duck Larange. Let's not forget him. The responsibility lies there. But this is just, I mean, I knew some crazy stuff was coming, but my God, and I remember that inauguration chart reading that I did with that Uranus in the first house in sidereal Aries, which is the crazy, unpredictable, warlike energy, just astonishing. Anyway. Look who shows up. This card fell out. Here's Elon. Yeah, for me, it always shows up either as the King of Wands or the Magician. So look, this is him about his seat of power. On my Thursday fry up, I was like, look, we know, obviously, we know in a way that kind of JD Vance has been locked in the cupboard, but he's biding his time. Yeah, he wants to outlast Trump because youth is on his side. But what I could also see is that Elon wants to be the king as well. And I think he literally wants to be, in a way, he kind of is the de facto sort of king. Do you know what I mean? Because Trump can do all of his press conferences, but literally Elon has got his hands on the power. So Elon is feeling like a king. Yeah. Look at this. 3 of Cups. He is celebrating. He's like, hee, I've done it. I'm the big daddy now. Yeah, I'm the big daddy now. Yeah, here he is running around with his hackers in their offices and stuff like that. Yeah. If we see here, look, the 6, what's that? The 6 of Wands. Yeah, 6 of Wands, which is what? The victory card. At the moment, he is yet to be held accountable. Yeah. But this is also as well, let's not forget, it can talk about romping to victory, but let's not forget, this card can also be the pride that comes before a fall. Don't forget that as well. Especially when you see the next two cards. Look who shows up. The devil. Do you know how many times the devil card has come up recently when I've been reading on Elon? Because what does the devil card talk about? It talks about what? Addiction. He's on his ketamine, he's on whatever, he's probably doing lines of goodness knows what. Yeah. Absolutely. He's also drunk on power. I think the power has literally gone to his head. But here, let's not forget with the devil card, this also talks about insecurities, attachments, pathologies, psychosis, mental illness. Yeah. So I think this echoes as well what you got, Sheila, as well. He's literally losing the plot. And when you look at the outcome card, now remember in politics, when I see the Four of Swords, do you remember I often refer to this as the career ending kind of card? Now, there's several things that are happening at once. I personally believe that America's got a couple of weeks to really kind of sort itself out. I'm not calling for people to do violence and stuff like that, but I think mass protest and mass not buying and all of this stuff, civil disobedience, etc. Because some people have been saying, well, if the Department of Education doesn't exist anymore, nor do my student loans, stuff like that. People can use that kind of logic. But here, this is about being wounded in battle, being taken off the battlefield. For me, in politics, this can mean career ending. And it coming next to the devil, this can mean that it's likely that Elon is to ruin himself, ultimately. His Tesla sales around the world are plummeting. So his shareholders, fellow shareholders, are only going to be able to put up with that for so long. Also, as well, it's been reported that the banks are selling their debt in X. So it means people are preparing to abandon him. And of course, we've just seen with that recent thing I was telling that he's plummeting with the GOP. So his crazy behavior could ultimately lead to his downfall. Let's hope it happens sooner rather than later. I believe he should be in Guantanamo Bay, locked up there until he goes on trial, locked in prison for, I don't know how many, 40 odd years, and deported.
But also the actual young hackers, I can't understand why they weren't arrested and interrogated, and in time, under pressure, they would give up exactly what Trump and Musk said to do. Why are they strolling around the halls, still with hard drives, ordering pizzas? America didn't learn from January 6th and not doing anything for 5 years. Can you believe we are watching this again?
Yeah, I can't.
It's a coup. It's a coup. That's really what it is.
It's a cyber coup. Let's call a coup a coup. It's a cyber coup.
Cyber coup. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's go to question number 3. Now, we've got one here. We're going in our esoteric aeroplane and we're going back to Germany again because, of course, this is very important. They will be having their election on the February 23rd. So today is the 9th of February. It's not too long.
2 weeks,
Indeed. Yeah, Nick Minks. So German voters decide on February 21st their next government. With Friedrich Merz's conservative Christian Democrats favored to win. Will they hold off the AfD, which is the more of the far right kind of side of things, and any interference by outside forces? Good question.
Yeah.
Oh,
the German election. So, yeah, I agree with you, Hogie, and I'm sure we all agree. It's really important to keep the momentum of these demonstrations and civic actions right now, not next summer, not next year, right now.
And keep writing.
The keyboard warriors. And because being active in the resistance gives you energy. I think that's important. It actually gives you energy.
I live in Colorado Springs, and I have a Republican House of Representatives. I write that man every week. I posted one of the letters that I sent him. It's I literally hold him to the fire of his beliefs. Like throw out as many Bible verses as I possibly can.
Yeah, that's the secret. Yeah, talk his language.
I would, yeah, talk his language, exactly. I'm like, if you believe this, then I'm gonna hold you to that. And you can copy and paste my letter all you want, but yeah, I sent him. He knows. I've gotten several emails back. Thank you, this, that, and the other. He wants me to come visit him. I'll visit him.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Hopefully, me videotape it, but I'll visit you.
Mm-hmm. Who's ready to go first?
I can.
Go for it, Lena.
So I think with everything that happens now, it happens. This is my card for social media. So the right-wing parties are all talking to each other on social media. You've got the tension between, let's say this represents the old guard, the old Christian democratic values that Angela Merkel, versus the new. And they're unencumbered. The fool is unencumbered. And in this case, unencumbered by any sort of morality or even any intellectual weight. The unencumbered fool is what it can be. However, there might be legal cases coming out of this election. I think it's going to come down to legal decisions because they have a slightly different system where different parties come up. Yeah. So it might end up being a legally decided distribution of votes in some way.
Wow.
There we go. That's me.
Sheila, what do you have?
Well, I have the same thing that I was getting when I was getting with the America, that there's going to be some deceit and betrayal going on. However, there is an ending to that. It's almost like the Germans paid attention to the America, watch what was going on. They see this, they see that. And so whatever they did, they're like deep diving into their elections right now because of this problem, which is a good news, because going forward, I got the Page of Pentacles, which is good news, right? The good news. The Page of Pentacles, grounding them, making sure everything is good to go, make sure everything is working really, really fine. And I got the King of Swords. I get the lawyer also. I get the lawsuits. I get the government. I get the authority and the power of the King of Swords. Now, for the American King of Swords usually meant Republicans, but I think for Germany, they get a just. It's just. For justice and just things like that, and they also get the wealth and the happiness. So whatever the outcome is, the Germans are not going to be too overly upset about it.
That's good news, because they've had huge protests all this week against the far right.
They have
massive protests in so many German cities.
They also get the genuine creation of love. So whatever the Germans, they're going to have that feeling of we did it.
Oh, great.
Wow. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, underneath of it all, there is fireworks that could be either a celebration, but when it comes to the government and the higher things, this is either the card of the narcissist or the higher elements. Okay. So the reading, it's about anchoring in friends that have the message that they want to hear. And it's about the timing of these things with the storyline that they're moving forward, the craftiness of it. So somebody's got something going on underneath of it. But now we have the cloud system and a lot of difficulty with that. Okay. We have plenty of obstructions here, heavy duty, because we've got double mountains. So the challenge is turning your back on the past, going forward by the community to bridge into something better. But the outcome is the cross to bear, that Christian thing with the clouds and government. So there may be some things coming into it that they think it's going to be good, but then once they actually get in, they're going to find out that they're having some difficulties with them.
Oh, interesting.
That would make sense too.
Doesn't anything about their stuff.
And could that crucifix also represent the Christian Democrats? Because you know,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How interesting. Some more quick thank yous, and then I'll read my cards, and then I'll finish, and then we'll get on to the next one, because it's the next one coming up I really want to read on, which is Elon stealing already? But I just want to say thank you to Samalan Girl. Does anyone know how Musk and his rats haven't been arrested yet? Generally not for the cars, just why? How? I know. We're just like, what the, you know what? It's just extraordinary. Scarlett, thank you so much for your donation. And thank you, Helen DeCosta, for your donation. Oh, crikey, there's another one here as well. And Summerland Girl, thank you. Said a hard day to that. Oh, okay. So 3.5 million votes were received but not counted. So again, adding more to lots of shenanigans and all sorts of stuff. All right. So Germany elections. Will the Christian Democrats win? Mixed bag, yeah? Mixed bag. So if we look here, as you know, I turn my card the right way up. Look who's a card shows up in reverse. Yeah, so Spirit is talking clearly here. When the card is the right way up, this talks about determination, tenacity, someone that is shrewd with a lot of guile and a lot of cunning. Yeah. Here, this is more difficult. This is almost really kind of trying to navigate through the choppy waters, the woods, obstacles. So what this says to me is that even if the Christian Democrats maybe have the lead right now, I think there's going to be a lot of machinations and a lot of underhand tactics, because this could be where people get conniving and devious. Yeah, because it's like the integrity of it is kind of sort of reversed. If we look here, though, we have the Lovers, and the Lovers is always about important choices, decisions to be made. But as you know, when I'm reading on international politics and particularly countries, this also deals with what? Trade, imports, exports, business. So what this is telling me is that the economy is going to be a significant factor in this election, and how Germany and Germans feel about their trading prospects and their financial future on the world stage. Yeah, it's going to be a big factor. I too get the Justice card. So this would suggest, yes, maybe the government there might be some kind of adjudication, maybe legal precedent has to be set, because all of us are picking up this legality. Yeah, so there must be something here. Is it the case that the question, the election is very, very close, or maybe there's been some kind of interference or mishigas as indicated by this card here? Then we get the Hanged Man card, which we know is not a fast card. So it suggests to me, is there something slower about the result, or something slowed down or held up or gummed up? Or is this also about a change of perspective? Could this change of perspective be coming from what is happening in America? And of course, with Elon and his zig heils and going over to Germany and deliberately trying to push the far right. Yeah, I think this is maybe giving the Germans a bit of a change of perspective, because they're like, bloody hell, we can't go here.
I think so.
Indeed. But look, the outcome card is the Moon. Oh, it's the Moon. There is a conflict within Germany where it's almost like I said, this is so easy to overlook, but this lobster for me is the most important part of the Moon, because it will speak about the id. So it seems like there is a struggle of war within the German psyche, because the Moon can also talk about the mind and the emotions of, are we going to go further to the right? There might be the protests, but there might be a lot of people that support the ADF as well. So it tells me there's an emotional and psychological struggle within the Germans. So I think it's going to be, it might be quite close.
Intense.
Yeah. All right. Shall we dive into the next question, folks? Let's let rip. Yeah.
If I could just read a comment here. Elon Musk is rumored to have spent $40 million on Super Bowl ads, exposing government waste that he's found. It's all lies. Maybe everyone could boo that. That would be magic. If at least the majority, there'll be some who think it's great, but emotionally, both these big guys are fragile. If they get lots of boos at Super Bowl, it'd be interesting. They may not. They might be cheered.
We'll see. Yeah, it'll be very interesting, won't it?
Yeah.
It'll be very
Go
interesting.
the boos.
Indeed. Okay, so question number 4. So this is Ashley Song here. And it says, hello, you 4 lovely people. Question. I'm hearing Elon broke into the Treasury Department. Yes, he has. To shave off 1 to 4% of the 6 trillion payments it makes out into his account, all by code. It's straight out of a Bond or any movie with a major villain. Is this true? And at 4%, that would be about 240 billion. So basically, is Elon already stealing from the Treasury purse of America and tweaking the code to add to his own finances? My God, you can't make this stuff up. Oh
God.
Oligarchy. Is Elon already stealing from the Treasury?
Yeah. Oh my word.
Oh dear.
Well, shall I go?
Go for it, Lena.
I've moved to the Italian cards. Elon the peacock, right? There is no bigger ego. Makes Trump look modest, really.
Yeah.
Who's an enemy of the White House? I mean,
Wow.
And he is looking at complete disgrace. So I would say either he's just on the brink of, or whatever. But this is the card of disgracia. So maybe it'll be exposed for the crude theft that it is. But definitely it's his plan A.
Gosh, astonishing. Sheila, what do you have?
I got the 2 of Swords with the Republicans.
Ah.
The 2 of Swords, but this in my deck here, 2 of Swords is blindfolded. So they have hidden their decisions and their choices and going in and why, like they tell you it's one thing and he's going in for another, which we all know that there's no real good reason for him to be doing what he's doing, but he is looking for the extra money.
God.
He is absolutely looking for that. He needs to be paid back for everything he did for Trump. I remember last time that's the reason why Trump is like turning the head, like who cares, because Elon is going after his bounty of what he deserves for doing what he did for Trump, and he's finding it. Bats in the belfry.
Yeah.
This one right here, this card is always, she's sitting there with an enlightened and the innocence. And unfortunately, he is definitely looking for something that he can run away from the castle from.
Wow.
That is his looking, but I don't know if maybe we should read to see if he gets it, because he's definitely looking for his reward.
My goodness. Lady G, what do you have?
Yes.
Well, what we have underneath of it all, the narcissist, again, another one of those. So the readings about what the White House has done and tempering and anchoring this stuff in is key. And it's about the desires, the wishes for the harvest. Okay. And that's the light being shed on the darker elements that they're doing. So it's all about what I'm going to get. Yeah. So the sharing of their life path is about their business things and the snake elements that they continue to do. It's about the message that they want to put out about truth, but then their individual things they're holding on to and what's under the surface that's being anchored in. So when it comes to the world, he's figuring out his next move and again, trying to gather information underneath of it all. And that I think he's selling to Trumpenstein.
Oh God, it's just a horror show, isn't it? It's just like, I just cannot believe this, but I'll quickly dive in. Oh goodness, I need to keep track. So thank you to Azealia, thank you Rosalind, thank you Josie, thank you Elizabeth, much appreciated. And at the moment we have 2,831 of you with us right now, so much appreciated that you're here joining us this evening. Please, of course, make sure to like and subscribe and share to support this channel and the work that we're doing here. It's much appreciated. Okay, my cards. What is Elon doing? Yeah, is he stealing billions already? Well, now if we look here, we actually get the Hanged Man. Now we know this isn't a fast card. Yeah, obviously it's the slowest in the deck. You can't move. Yeah? But if we think about it in a way, if I take this just purely symbolically, it is as if everything has been turned upside down. He has literally turned the departments upside down. And now we're all getting this different perspective. We're realizing just how deep the crazy is. Yeah, just how deep the crazy is. However, as usual, look, Two of Swords, there are still people that are willfully blind to what is going on. Willfully blind. No, this is the GOP. No. Elon is doing efficiencies and he's succeeding, but he's also still trying to pull the wool over people's eyes, putting out ads on the Super Bowl to show how much money he saved when he hasn't even really touched the big thing. You know, if you really want to save some money on the budget, how about when it comes to military industrial complex? There's trillions there, literally.
SpaceX.
Yeah. Maybe we could just cut a few of Elon's contracts. That would save a lot of money. Yeah. But look, so there's still that willful blindness. But this is also as well talking about Elon's willful blindness as well. Not wanting to pay attention to the damage that he's doing. Yeah. Trying to spin these things. He's trying to pull the wool over everyone's eyes. If we look here, we have the 5 of Cups. Yeah. 3 of the cups are down, spilt blood, but 2 are left. What this says to me is, yes, he has already raided. Yeah. I think he's taken what he wants, but he's just leaving a bit of infrastructure behind. And I think this is the sadness where we're going to learn just how much he's taken, etc. All of that stuff. If we look here, dead giveaway. What card do I get as well? We get the 7 of Pentacles. And as everyone knows, I refer to this card as the card of ROI, which is what? Return on investment, which echoes Sheila and the ladies, which is like, he wants his money back. You know, he's like, well, I want my deposit back. I've given you 270 million. You know, you need to let me go in there and kind of cream off and maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Because he's so obsessed with becoming a trillionaire. Even what he gave to Trump's campaign, he wants it back. Yeah. So this is him. This is the card of harvest, making an investment. He sowed those seeds. He's saying, look, Trump, you owe me. You owe me for this work that I have done for your fruit and harvest. Oh my God, you can't make this up. But then look at the outcome card. Oh dear, something hits the skids. This is the card also as well of illness, of downfall. I think on the simple front, this is him wanting to disenfranchise everyone. And he's taken from the poor and the most vulnerable. But this could also maybe talk about maybe his ultimate outcome, because at the end of the day, Elon's main wealth is based on the price of the Tesla stock. We need to remember that.
Yes.
And that, it's starting to go down. So what this says to me, these excesses, he may have been celebrating now, but when I think of my Four of Swords card that I got from him, and he's getting the poverty card, it could backfire. He may be ruining himself. I hope that is the case. Anything to add to that?
Yes, if I could for a minute too. We're seeing what Trump did with the casinos in Atlantic City. Who can lose money on a casino in Atlantic City? And so Musk has done that with X. All he had to do was cross his legs and count the ad revenue. He didn't have to do a thing. But no, the ego has meant it's now costing him money. But can I add one more thing from the comments here from Sissy Crusoe? This is really important. USA media is blocking what other nations are saying and the reactions of other nations from what is happening. Do we, the citizens, I think she means Americans, have support from our allies, or are we fighting this alone? No, it's really important. And that's why this show's important. Our community is important, but also UK, Germany, even France are thinking about charging Elon with interfering in their elections. So it's really important. Go on Blue Sky, look at what other nations are saying and doing, but you're not alone.
Absolutely, you're not alone. And the whole rest of the world is outraged by what is happening. We're in shock. We're in shock. We're like, we cannot believe that they're behaving like this. And just so you know, outside of America, I mean, I know his sales have gone down a little bit, but literally outside of America, Elon's sales are plummeting of the Tesla cars. And that is a big part of his share price. And I think as the world learns more and more about what's going on, you know, obviously things will change. Let's squeeze in one more. I know we're close to time, but let's squeeze in one more. And a very simple question here. This is coming from Trina. Thanks so much for your question. Looking forward tonight, they say. I'd like to know if 45 or, 47, if his corrupt, grifting, scamming, and family cabinet and muskrat will be held accountable for the harm they've inflicted and the money they've plundered. So will they be held accountable? Muskie and Trump. Duck L'Orange. Captain Batshit Duck L'Orange, Trumpocalypse. Will they be held accountable?
Well, not an easy question.
It's not easy, is it? They should both be in orange jumpsuits already by now, but it's just like, wow.
And why I'm upset, well, everyone's, not just me, about the hackers not being arrested is that's normally the process. You go for the boots first and work your way up to the suits, but they are not stopping this blatant.
It's astonishing. All right. Oh, how interesting. Oh, this is interesting. All right, who's ready to go?
I can here, if you like.
Go for it, Lena.
This sort of has to be the card for the new millennium, really, for everybody. Everybody's confused on every level, politicians or punters in the Ozarks, like everyone's confused, which is a deliberate process, right? Now, the question is, the emperor representing their power, will they be brought to justice, I have to say, not that I'm seeing here. Everything is being so delayed. It takes so long to do anything, it would appear, in the justice system. They will make off with various things, including the codes to the entire US Treasury.
Sure.
And I see them getting away with it in that mortal sense. Will Elon go to jail? Doubt it. Will Trump go to jail? Doubt it. We have to leave it to a higher entity to decide what their karmic punishment will be. But they will be shamed and reduced. I believe that, which for narcissists is abject horror. Love to be wrong, love it to be more literal.
Sheila, what cards do you have?
Well, I was hopeful at first when I got the Three of Swords. However, as we all look at the obituaries and get disappointed every day, I got that, the heartbreak. Now the heartbreak, it was partnered up with the Two of Wands, which was really kind of a little bit of a confusion to me, because it's successful, but the heartbreak, but his success is heartbreaking, right? That's a description that's talking about that. However, the generosity comes out with this card one more time. We are going to have to depend on poetic justice, and poetic justice is their karma come into play. We have nothing to say about when it's going to show up. We have nothing to say how harsh, or how little they're going to get. However, it just seems like this is what's going to be handed to him, or to him. And with the Four of Swords, there's one thing out there. It says a well-earned break. A well-earned break. And then I got one more card it's like on the right track to holding him accountable. I don't know. This is like legit, but something is on the right track to hold him accountable. Now, whether it's our justice system, because we've seen how well they tried, but something is on the right track to holding him to justice. And I'm a firm believer in poetic justice. Just like Trump and his administration, that was like poetic justice for him. You know what I mean?
Fascinating. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, when it comes to the wealthy, Musk and Trump, etc., there are conversations of despair. So people are, of course, very worried about what's going to take place. Going into it, we have the community, and they're seeing bad health when it comes to the messages that are coming out with all of this. The energy is about the control. And the community is going to try to move things forward. But what we have going now, it's the storylines about the wealthy and, of course, wanting imprisonment. We would like to see them imprisoned. But the challenge is the government and our expectations of endings. But the outcome, potential outcome, is a new gift to move forward. To move forward to a better place. So,
and that is what's important at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. All right. Well, I've got my cards. They're all in, and just make sure. Did I read out Elizabeth? Yes, I think Elizabeth. Thank you so much. And then that was one more in. Right, interesting cards. All right, interesting cards that I've got here. Will they be held accountable? Now this is really interesting, and by the way, there's almost 3,000 of you joining us live right now. It's 2,981. My God, so I think that's almost a record again. Thank you so much for joining us. And please, of course, like and subscribe to support the channel and the ladies. All right, so if we look here, we've got the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is about bringing what? Things, people together. Yeah, this is the conference. This is the conference. This is the dialogue. This is the salon. I think in a way, this is the Democrats and maybe just the electorate in general. I think a consensus is coming because, of course, if Elon's numbers are starting to do bad with the GOP, this is also indicative as well. So it seems like there's a growing consensus that things aren't right, and I think people are waking up at last. Exactly. It's like, hello. I have a feeling this is justice here embattled. I have a feeling that this is our sane-minded Americans feeling embattled, because remember, a lot are still wearing the blindfold. There are still a lot that are kissing the you-know-what of Elon and everyone saying, hey, he's a genius, and all of this rubbish. Yeah, but I have a feeling once more Americans maybe actually start to have more struggles in their lives. Yes. I think this is when this is going to really start. Because look, let's face it, the price of stuff hasn't gone down. Yeah, if that was what I can understand, I don't agree with it all, but cost of living, of course, is a legitimate concern for anyone, but the prices haven't gone down. They've gone up, much more up. Yeah. And now when you've pissed off all of your friends, like Canada and Mexico, and Canada's refusing to buy your stuff, that's not going to make life cheaper. So this is about embattlement. Yeah. However, my instinct is the justice, as it were, is probably going to come from abroad. Believe it or not, from abroad. This is the merchant of trade here looking at the world to be made. This is the world looking at America and going, this is all these people that are, look at that. We've just reached 3,000. Thank you so much, everyone. And that must be a record. I think that's a record. But I think this is everyone looking at America, but also as well looking at Elon and his Tesla stock and stuff like that going down. I think Canada has already refused some big $100 million SpaceX contract. In a way, I feel the retribution, the punishment, as it were, is probably going to be economic, and it's going to be coming from the world. Yeah. If we look here, there will be some element of celebration. So could it be that international pressures, kind of, as much as Elon is romping and Trump is romping, at the end of the day, if they're going to have this Bitcoin reserve or this whatever reserve, it has to be supported internationally. So I think people might be celebrating the downfall of Elon. And then the outcome card is the Hermit, deep reflection, a sense of isolation. So it could be, maybe they're not necessarily flung in jail, but it could be that Elon actually becomes very much isolated, and even Trump, because at the end of the day, the global economy matters.
Yes.
What the world thinks matters. And the world is absolutely outraged at what is going on. And I think even America's enemies are aghast.
Yeah, I agree.
Because let me just tell you this. I've got to have this little bit of a rant here. If Elon was in China and did the same thing, imagine if China did the same thing, raided the treasury of China, you know what the result of that would be. He wouldn't even be arrested. He would be dead. He will be shot. You get shot dead for stuff like that in China. I'm not saying that he should be assassinated or what have you, but imagine if he tried to do that in Iran.
Yes, exactly.
Beheaded. Imagine if he tried to do that in North Korea. Over. But anyway, that's my bit. The world, I think, will contribute to their justice. Lena, you were going to say something.
I love that. Yes, you could see me hovering here. My idea of perfection would be roll forward 6 months or a year or something, MAGA peeling off issue by issue by issue, and MAGA turning on them both publicly, like big time, total humiliation, wet underpants, freak out, trying to get out of venues type MAGA turning. That would satisfy me, I think, more than jail.
Yeah. Well, as you can imagine,
exile.
Exactly, exile. Well, the time has gone in a flash. We did run over a little bit, but we covered a tremendous amount of ground. So I want to say thank you, ladies, so much for your contributions. And of course, Sheila as well, much appreciated. Lady G, much appreciated. Lena, much appreciated. We've got, what is it, 3,025. I think we just smashed a record. So thank you so much for all of your support and donations. Of course, it's shared with the ladies as well. We will see you next week, keeping you informed, keeping you updated, and giving us our best that we can with our readings. So thanks so much for the love and support. We will leave it there. So it's a goodbye from now from everyone, and big love. Keep holding on, folks. Remember, protest. Yeah.
Yes.
No buy Mondays. And if you go out, wear a grey hoodie. Apparently that's what protects you. Yeah. Wear the grey hoodie.
Ciao, guys.
Bye for now, everyone.